Okay, so this day, here it is, Friday, October 15th. We're going to be doing some more Kubernetes co-learning, upskilling, all that jazz. Um, I covered this in the news this week, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it again. So Kubernetes added Cloud Foundation, CNCF, added an associate, the CNA, Kubernetes certified Kubernetes certified. Is it network associate? CNCF new certification. They just added this. This is like QCon. So I want to read about that. I don't know if it's going to show it. Probably, I think it's on the blog. There it is. So let's add this. I can add that to the log here. And there we go. So this was added. This certification was added. And Kubernetes certified, what is it called? What is it called? God, what's up with all the, there we go. It's called Cloud Native Associate. So it's the same acronym, but Cloud Native Associate. Which is kind of funny. I swear to God, they just announced this and I found out about it 2 days ago. And I had already decided to rename this. I already decided to rename the beginner boost work, the work I'm doing, the badges and stuff. I kid you not, I opened it. This is what I had already done, because I was like, before it was like technologist and stuff, and I was like, what is the term for a beginner in technology? And I had, this was IT associate before. I'm not kidding. I changed this literally 3 days before the announcement about the certification. So that's really good. This, by the way, is not a cloud native associate. This is just a general tech associate, right? So I'll be working on this. Here's the schedule, by the way. A couple of stuff to get it out the way. So here's the schedule. Tonight I'll be doing Go programming. Tomorrow morning I'll be doing Go programming. More co-learning tomorrow afternoon. I'll be working on the badges. So if you're a beginner and you just want to see me messing around with charts and content, eventually I'll get to writing more content and making videos for that. That'll be on tomorrow night. And this calendar is on. I pulled that one down because it's just easier to get to. But that calendar is also on Twitch. So if you go to Twitch TV/RWXRob and you go to the stuff at the bottom, you can see the schedule. So here it is. I've been showing everybody this week because I want to make sure people see it. So this is new. So this is on the About page. Make sure you go here. I've been talking about it in the news. Every news segment that has a different audience, I've been kind of summarizing. So that's what's going on there. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. So they added Cloud Native Associate. They don't have any other information about it as far as I know, though. Let's go ahead and read this. The Cloud Native Associate exam is expected to launch at the end of this year after a period of beta testing. So it's been about that already. It's aimed at entry-level developers or people in non-technical roles that are interested in learning more about open source container orchestration technology, such as technical marketing professionals and product managers. That's interesting. The qualification will join the existing stable of certified Kubernetes application developers, certified CK, and certified security specialists, but aimed less at experienced practitioners who are expected to show off their hands-on skills during the exam process. Okay, must be a multiple choice. Will gain by, it's a multiple choice exam, I guess that, with the test participants. Knowledge. Let's see. To do the fundamental architecture from containers and pods to clusters to nodes, and understanding of the broader cloud native landscape, including security considerations. It's probably good. The KCNA provides a clear on-ramp for those considering role marketing with cloud technology and serves as the first step in pursuing career paths in cloud administration, engineering, application development, security, and more. General Manager of Training and Certification at Linux Foundation said in the statement. Clyde. I got to meet Clyde one of these days. Stay connected and test. Okay. No. So there you go. I mean, I don't know how important that is, but that's a thing. So I need to pursue stuff related to nodes again. So last time we did our cloud native stuff. We were focused on, I talked a lot about Talos and discovered that and how to set up nodes and all that. And that's kind of where we left it off. We kind of been deciding about whether to do Kubernetes the Hard Way, links from Kelsey Hightower. After to this week, there was a script that somebody wrote to onload all of to join all of the endpoints using kubeadm, and I feel like I need to do that, even though I'm super interested in the OS stuff, because that's something I have to do at work all the time. So we're going to be focused on that. This is the standard place that everybody recommends to go. No scripts. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add that here to our list. This is going to end up in the show notes and YouTube and for today's event kind of thing. I should probably put the date. What day is it? October 15th. October 21. Yep, it's not too big. It's 54. Has to be 52 or it won't commit. So -2. Okay, that'll work. Yep. All right. So I'll do another one here. This is just a little thing. It's going to bring that in, so we can look at that. I get rid of this. Kubernetes the Hard Way on Google Cloud. Yeah, I don't want to do it on Google Cloud though. I want to do my own. I wonder if we can use the same stuff from it and then just, do that. That's probably what I'm going to do. So yeah. I don't know, interested in the KCNA. You did most of the training for CKA, but never fully got through it. Yeah, the KCNA looks like it's going to be a lot easier. It's a multiple choice exam. So I don't know how hard it could be. It's like know what to talk about and stuff. It wasn't listed in the curriculum. Actually, let's go look and see if it's listed in the curriculum. So I'm going to do it this way because I want to find it. Kubernetes curriculum. We added a ticket on this because it's like kind of a pamphlet. It's not a curriculum at all. It's on GitHub if I can find it. Application developer, we did that. So, but I feel like I'm getting a lot of the knowledge just from on the job. I did kind of want to give people at least some heads up. Kubernetes in 3 hours, a detailed guide to orchestrated containers. I'm tempted to do the free code camp stuff just because you got funding for your CCAD? Nice. I just do it for my own interest. Yeah, me too. Hands-on experience of doing it. Yeah, it is. It's hard to get hands-on experience like at scale. But that's actually one of the things we've been focused on, the last few weeks is how to set up a home-based system that you're going to get a true at-scale experience. I've just decided to throw out Kind completely. I was going back and forth between Kind and Minikube. I go do a lot, and then this week I really hit a snag because of Kind ingress So I still think Minikube is the best way locally, but I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to try a bunch of different things today. And at the time we have other payment options, credit card only. Yeah, they need to add that. They really do. So where is the curriculum? I'm pretty sure it's, well, I know it's listed from their site. I want to just put there it is. Applications. Yeah, they have a link from here. I already paid for all my exams. I got till next July to take them. A second blank container images. There it is, curriculum. So this is it. And let's see if it's changed since, in case you wonder, I'm using links. Latest commit was October 13th. So it looks like they may have added it. CKA, CCAD, curriculum. See this one here? This one here, this is the one that added Helm to the CCAD, which is a big thing to add. I don't know how much Helm they're going to have you do. Oh, look, there it is. The KCNA. So it is there. All right. So let's go look at it. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to add this. All right. Yep. All right, I'm going to go add that back to my notes. There we got the CKA. Yeah, I don't need the whole thing. I can just get that. All right. Let's go read it. It's probably a PDF because they always do that. Oh, this one isn't. That's interesting. The Kubernetes and Cloud Native Association. The Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate. Oh, it's not Kubernetes Cloud Native Associate. It's Kubernetes and Cloud Native. Interesting. Okay. Perhaps a beginner friendly. We already read that. It is intended for developers and non-developers alike. Certification will provide an on-ramp for individuals to get situated in a wider cloud environment. Help them prepare for future certs, CK, CCAD, and CCAD. This is good, though, because Kubernetes is pretty fucking hard to get into. It's just so dense. It's such a huge wall. And they don't tell you anywhere that you need to learn Docker first. That's probably one of the biggest things that would have helped me as a beginner, because I know this is stupid, but I started learning Kubernetes before I had ever made a Docker image, ever. Before I'd even used the Docker command in any substantial way. And I tried to learn Kubernetes without that. That was just stupid. It was stupid. And I should have known better, but I really didn't know how the pieces fit together. I knew what orchestration was, but I didn't realize, to what extent that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think this is going to be remedied for those following this, the OCMS stuff, the Occam's stuff that I made, the open credential stuff, because it will give them like the order. Like you learn containers literally on your 5th day, so that you're doing containers for everything. And then Kubernetes comes a lot later, but you'll be really, really, really good with containers before that happens. The certification will provide an on-ramp for the individual. To help you prepare certification, we recommend these materials. Introduction to Cloud Native Infrastructures. Is that free? I got to pull this up in a real browser, in a graphic browser, I should say. Starts October 15th. Cloud infrastructure. I'm pretty sure I could pass this thing without, I'm going to do it anyway. I think this one's free. Chris, Chip, and, oh my God, I'm not paying $200 for this. I'm not. Access to course materials, unlimited, limited. edX support shareable certification upon completion. I have a feeling that, I don't know. One of the reasons I'm going through all of this is so that you don't have to. I have introduction to cloud infrastructure technologies, learn the fundamentals of building and managing. I would sign up for this thing, and it would have like remedial stuff that I already know, and I would get really mad. I would get really mad because, First of all, I don't think it, I think the cloud, look, I understand what they're doing and I know why they're doing it. I appreciate it, but I wish they would focus more time on free education because that's what we need. I mean, Amazon just gave away all their cloud certifications because they can't get enough people to do it. They put this huge barrier of learning up. I'm not buying this. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say I support them and everything, but I don't. I'm not gonna pay $300 for them to tell me what orchestration means. And tell me and like list out all the CRDs or something. No, fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, back to my own plan. My own plan is to use the commands and make stuff and then fill in the blanks with reading. That's my own plan. So no offense to CNCF. I love them. I like what they're doing. I'm glad they're there. But no, fuck no. I'm not paying for that. So anyway, yeah, let's go back. The Kelsey's thing is a thing too. This is pretty old though. When's the last time it was updated? We tried to go through the Kubernetes IO stuff, and the docs on Kubernetes IO, not only are they out of date and impossible to follow, but they're just not comprehensive. So I was like, well, yeah, but I can use this on the test and everything. I said that in earlier videos. I don't believe that anymore at all. I don't. I think the best way to do it is just go actually do everything, and anticipate what the needed skills would be, and go that way. Bootstrap Kubernetes. Yeah, this is super popular. No. I want to open it. No, I already did that. Wait, did I already do this? Yeah. Kubernetes the Hard Way. Where is it? Did I put it here? Yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to decide when it was last updated. It doesn't look like it gets updated very much. Yeah. May 2021. It's like really out of date. Updated to Kubernetes 1.2.1. They're on 1.2.2 now. So, whatever. But basically we have to bring up our own cluster, right? And what are the steps for doing that? Just tutorial walks you to, first of all, I hate the word tutorial. Everybody misuses the word. They don't know what it means. There's no tutor involved. It's a walkthrough, a lab or something, or a scenario. It's not a tutorial. Walks you through setting up a Kubernetes the hard way. The guide does not for a lot of people looking to fully automate a command to bring up Kubernetes cluster. If you check that, go Kubernetes engine, getting started. Kubernetes the hard way is optimized for learning, taking long route to ensure we understand each task and bootstrap the cluster. Yes. It also should be viewed as production ready, and may receive limited support from the community, but don't let this stop you from learning. Target audience is for someone planning to support a Kubernetes cluster. Guide to bootstrapping. Kubernetes 1.2, Containerd. Core DNS, CNI. This is official now. CNI, the container networking engine interface is official now. I'm learning slowly what all these things are. I didn't really do it in any form of organized way. I need to process all this and create an organized way, my own, to help people get through it. And I'll never charge for that, by the way. I just want you to know. I will never do it. People can support me and do, star it and sub and all that, but I'm not going to ever charge for it. This tutorial assumes you have access to the Google Cloud Platform. GCP is used for basic infrastructure, lessons learned, tutorial capability. Which is good because I want to use GCP, but I'm not going to be doing that here. I'm going to be doing it on my own Kubernetes kind clusters. What is your role for work? Well, I would ask you to read my about page before I answer any questions, if that's okay. You can go read that. That's like the first sentence. I'm an infrastructure engineer. It's in my title too. So just read my about. Okie doke. So, and you're gonna realize that about me. When you signed up to chat, you agreed to read the about before you chat. Okay. No, I'm trying to be mean. I just try to save time. So, what are the platform prerequisites? Installing the client tools, provisioning computer resources, provisioning the CA, and generating TLS certificates. Generating Kubernetes configuration files for authentication. Generate the data encryption config keys. Okay, bootstrapping the etcd cluster. Yes. I want to talk. We just went through this just the other day. I had the script at work, and we are using an external etcd. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about weighing external versus internal etcd. Bootstrapping the control plane, bootstrapping Kubernetes worker nodes, Carrier QC built for remote access, provisioning pods. This stuff I all kind of know. And so, yeah, we're going to try that. We're going to use kubeadm for all of this. For data to work, you need deployments, replica sets, volumes, networks, ingress, config map, secrets, Starbuck. Yep. It's funny because I actually know what those are, Maluba. I'm so happy. I know what they are now. Every single word you just said, I actually knew exactly what it was. If you had told me that like 3 months ago, I would not have had any idea. What's an ingress, for example? Ingress is one of the hardest things to get your head around as a beginner. Or the fact that you have to do your own CNI. That's another thing. Calico is a CNI we're using. I was trying to, in fact, I'm going to take a side tour here. I'm going to, okay, Kubernetes, yeah. Reviewed steps of Kubernetes the hard way. And dove a bit into, I want to write this so people know, Cni Providers, Calico. Because we were talking about Cni Providers the other day, and Calico is our one that we use, and I was not. We're setting up an infrastructure cluster for systems to manage all our other stuff, and that's kind of stuff. Let's see. DRV, Nick SR. I don't even know what that is. Oh, you're talking about DN, all the acronym. There were no acronyms in there, I guess. Sorry, I said the word acronym wrongly. I meant words. But Joe, I bet CNI. So I want to look at the CNI provider. So I'm going to pull up the landscape. You guys know what the landscape is, right? Do you know what the landscape is? I'd probably make an alias for this. Yeah, I'll make a new one. I'm going to make a new alias script. Landscape. Yep. I'm just going to open landscape dot. It's meme. All right. So now I can just do landscape, and it'll open up the landscape. How's it going, Total Reach? I'm good today. I just feel, overwhelmed as usual, but it's fine. It's good. It's a good thing. I'd rather be overwhelmed than underwhelmed. Not have anything to do or feel that way anyway. So this is actually normally a very eye-burning page, but I've got my dark mode on. So landscape.cncf.io. Why am I here? I am here because I'm looking for the CNI stuff. Which is over here. The topic, did you read the title? I'm going to ask you to do basic things first. So the title says Cloud Native and Kubernetes Colearning. That's the topic. Just a little tip here. Usually the topic is in the title. I'll give you that one for free. It's a free tip. So let's go here. And people call me an asshole for saying stuff like that. And I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole, but I'm trying to get you to become an autodidact, which means you answer your own questions, you do your own research. And then if you need help, you say, hey, this is what I've researched here. What was your conclusion? That's the way you want to be. And I do that to everybody. I do that to people I mentored for the last 10 years. It's like, what are we going to do today? I don't know. You tell me. You're in charge of your own learning. They come into me for mentoring. It's like, what? You're the boss here. I'm your mentor. You're the boss. And what to do with what your YouTube visit was, with one of your YouTube visit was. No worries. It was more to do with one of your YouTube's visit was. Oh, yeah, well, maybe. All right, so for right now, so if you want to break down the specifics of that, I'm happy to talk about that. So we already talked about how the new Kubernetes Cloud Native Associate certificate that's coming out. It's a multiple choice exam, not a lab. We talked about, we're kind of rehashing what we're going to do to learn to go forward. today I'm going to be specifically I want to get started making nodes. I want to get started bringing up my own cluster, and we've gone back and forth between Minikube and Kind and hardware and using Google Cloud Platform or Azure or something. We've gone we've done the whole gamut of research about how to start making a cluster. Like, where the heck am I going to do it? Once upon a time, I used to think doing it with Raspberry Pi was a good idea. I now no longer think that at all. So, because I mean, there's just too much involved. I mean, it is possible, but I think it can all be done with Kind, and that's where we left off. So, we're reading through Kubernetes the Hard Way and see if the stuff for a Google Cloud Platform that it focuses on can be done with a cluster built of nodes in Kind or Minikube. Both of which are fine. They have different problems. I actually like Minikube for local sampling and testing because it provides it automatically maps all the services for you, and Kind does not do that. So, well, no, we can. I'm going to try it with Kind because Kind actually forces you to do networking yourself, so that might be a good thing. Also, Kind does not have any kind of network forwarding or anything for. If you're using it from Docker desktop on Windows or Mac. So it cannot overstate that you should be doing all this stuff from a native Linux system. And if you haven't got Linux down, just forget doing anything else, because this is all driven on Linux. You just take all your time and spend it learning Linux until you feel like you've got a pretty good handle on using and administering Linux, including the networking. I did want to dive in a bit. On the CNI Providers. I want to look at CNCF Providers because I read. So CNI is just an incubating project. I find that really interesting because this is supposed to be like what everybody's using. I wonder if CNI is official or if we just have to have a provider. And I don't see, there's Calico. That's the one we're using. So it looks like this is the one that is. This is why I was looking at this. CLI best practice 75%. So cloud native, let's see, runtime, cloud native network, the container network interface, networking for Linux containers, website, get a container networking, repository, container. What I want to know is how official this is. This looks like it's, I'm going to guess that this is going to be the new one that gets embedded. So yeah, you have to pick a CNI when you deploy, and that's one of the things I'm worried about. This is the one we're using right now. Project Calico, CN Silver member. CNI, we are migrating away from Canal, the bastard love child of Flannel and Calico. To weave most of our encrypted traffic, really. Interesting, Porsche. Thank you for that insight. That's really interesting. I have no basis for the industry, you know what I mean? Oh, gosh, thank you for that. Let's go open that. Copy link address. Let's go open this one. Good old Rancher. It's too bad because they don't, yeah. So, ooh, this is fantastic. Ooh, this is great. I'm going to put this in our notes. I'll put that in our notes. Thank you very much for that. It's like a good old study group. Yep. Let's see. What are we going to call this? CNI features by provider. I like this way of taking notes better than having it in the log. So because it kind of goes with the video too. All right, so yeah. Yep. All right, what does this say? So Calico, encapsulated, IPPO or unencapsulated, yes. Route distribution, yes. Network policy, yes. Mesh, yes. etcd and external data store, etcd and Kubernetes API. Interesting. I think this is why we picked this, because I'm pretty sure we're using an external data store. What do you got me a key?
I did.
It's got a tree on it.
Otto's has Spider-Man.
Awesome. Encryption, no. Oh, Weave's got encryption. That's why you went with it, I guess, huh? Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Ingress, egress policies, yes. So I think this might be right because we do run an external etcd. So I don't know enough about the CNI stuff, so we're gonna have to learn about that. But that's gonna come up, and so I just wanted to look into it. I feel like we made a solid decision to use this. God, look at all the stars Flannel's got. The popularity on GitHub is never an indicator of the best project. Just letting you know. I mean, we're talking about if you were to base it on that, the number one language on GitHub is JavaScript. So, yeah, no. I mean, you just look already. I could say right here, no, no, no. It has no network policies. It has no encryption, and yet this is the most popular and most stored on GitHub. Why the fuck would you go with that? Weeb has more. Okay, fine. Weeb is the new hotness, I guess. Calico looks like the unsexy, stable thing that provides the most thing. I'm glad we picked it. I did not know that. That's why I wanted to dig into that. Somebody was going over a network node installation script this week with us and talked about Calico that we used, and we'll be using it, and that's why 2872. I wonder if that's even up to date. 2872. Yeah, this is like really old numbers too. Also created with age. Yeah, that's probably true. The Debian of the CNI world, exactly. I think I don't know. That's what I'm trying to establish, right? You think they may have recently added encryption? That would be fun to find out. Let's go see. Oh god. I mean, come on, look at that shirt. It's so cool. We got to get a shirt. Calico is 5. Calico is going to become the most widely adopted open source networking security solution for containers and Kubernetes. Thanks to everyone who has been a part of this community. Where does Calico fit? Okay, so we have... Yeah, I should probably put a link to this in here too. Yep. Again, this is for my own purposes as well as show notes. All right, so the data planes, hybrid platforms, outposts, managed Kubernetes services, self-managed Kubernetes, application deployments. It looks like it's one of these things that's larger in scope than what do I want to say? It's one of these things I think is larger in scope than just Kubernetes. So kind of like OPA, Open Policy Agent. You know what I mean? I think it has a bigger scope than just Kubernetes. Looks like it does. But I don't understand the intricacies of it. I just know you have to have a CNI when you're setting up a cluster. And just like you have to have an ingress, you can use the default ingress. I'm not sure there's a default CNI though. And so that's what we're going to talk about. Those pieces are probably very confusing if you're a beginner and you're trying to catch up. I'm sorry. But we're going to go through the whole thing again here. And we're going to follow the steps to set everything up. And I'm going to attempt to do that in a kind cluster, which I think gives us the closest parallel. It's got the least amount of magic, which is I think what we want. Minikube has some magic that's nice for like it automatically port forwards and maps any running service, which I ranted about recently in my Jupyter Hub. But I think for learning, I think kind might be better than, but might be the next best thing, the hardware, because each container is a node, and you can actually make those images. You can actually have your own images. So that's what we're going to do. In fact, I'm going to attempt to do a kind cluster where I bring nodes on. I'm going to go write about this. So I think we're done with the CNI thing. For now, I just wanted to be able to talk about it intelligently, kind of like a level 1 knowledge there. So what I want to do is, so when you run a kind cluster, you get everything. So OS is on separate SSDs because Docker is a pain in the ass on Windows. Yeah, Docker is pretty tough. I don't dual boot though. I have to just HWSL only because I have to have Windows. All right, so what I'm gonna do, so we're gonna attempt to bootstrap uh, a cluster with nothing but Docker, and this is gonna be weird, right? But I think that we can figure this out. We're gonna use the Docker network to make a bunch of pretend systems and to bring them up and get them to talk. Hi, Q macro. Uh, so I'm gonna try that. We're gonna try that, and we have it's like 2.5 hours left. Before we get going though, I'm gonna take a 5-10 minute break if that's okay. I'm gonna go. My wife just got back, and I need to go talk with her a little bit. So I'll take 10 minutes real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll do our thing. So we're gonna follow the Kelsey Hightower's Kubernetes the Hard Way, but instead of making new systems on Google Cloud Platform, we will be making kind. So if during this 10 minutes, if you want to do something, install Docker Desktop if you haven't already done so, and or Docker if you're on Linux. If you're not using Linux, you're going to have a hard time following along. But if you want to follow along, the goal is going to be install our own, IT cluster, create a bunch of machines from images, from container images, and we're going to install all the components on there to create a master plane, and then to join some nodes into the cluster. Can you create a virtual VPN route on the Docker network? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we can do that. Yeah, you could just have it be a different network. Yeah, I don't really care because everything's already just in the Docker network, so the Docker network is already internal. You know what I mean? It's already kept to itself. So I'll be right back in a bit. I'm gonna take 5 here. So, yep, I'll be back. I'll just let you guys look at this while I go. All right, I'm back. I'm back. So let's go through this thing one thing at a time. How's it going, silly boy? Do you use Hyper-V? No. Oh, you're talking about them. Can you create? Let's see. I'm reading back through the comments here. Let me see. Our dogs are all happy. It smells great in here. My wife's making ramen. When my wife makes ramen, it's insanely good. Docker on WSL2 feels better. Still some weirdness around exposing ports and local network. Windows side seems to expose only from the Windows as localhost. That might be a Windows thing. I know for a fact that Docker Desktop and Mac have problems with Docker Desktop. Docker Desktop has problems on Windows and Mac. I know it because I just read about it with the Minikube thing. There's an entire, actually, if you want to read all about it, I just wrote about it in here. Service mapping sucks in Minikube, so I can give you that if you want. The links in here. There's a thread in here that goes through the kind teams like, oh well, we don't route stuff as well, and it's annoying. It's kind of annoying. But it talks about it. It talks about how come they can't get it. And then it actually tries to suggest how you're going to do the networking and stuff. We're probably going to have to open this up again because when we get to the networking part, first we have to get all of the nodes online, and then connect to them, stuff like that. And then after that, we're going to have to the machines. I mean, and then we're going to have to play around with the networking and stuff, make sure it works. But kubeadm is supposed to take care of the networking and set up its own internal network on the 10 dot network. So that's what let's do. Okay, so let's go back. So let's go back to the prereqs. Kelsey Towers prereqs here. You just have contributed this file. You know what? I am going to just download this whole thing. Yeah, I am. Kelsey Hightower, Kubernetes the Highway. Kubernetes the Hard Way. All right, copy. Yeah, I'm going to go to the GitHub and just do it that way. Make a directory for Kelsey. GH repo clone. Oh, sorry. Kubernetes the Hard Way. And there we go. Kubernetes the Hard Way. Let me just go read all this stuff. Deployments and docs, readme. All right, so tutorial walks through Cynic. God, Kelsey, really? Oh my God, this is horrible Markdown. People do not know how to make Markdown. And why would you put HTML in your Markdown? Fail. All right, we got all this already. Kubernetes, Containerd, okay, we got all that. Labs, it seems like Google Cloud Platform, yes. Prereqs, this is all in the docs. Oh, and then they did 07 and all that stuff. Yeah, no. Not a fan of that approach, but I spend way too much time obsessing about documentation. So, this is probably because you wanted to do it in Gitbook, which I hate for reasons I won't get into. It's a distraction. I'm looking at stuff at work too. Work is if you hear noise, that's because there's some stuff going on at work. We're redoing some images. So Google Cloud Platform estimated cost $23 per hour. I'm not doing GCP. Nope, not doing it. Wait, what did they fail on? You can't use dollars in PDF. See, he doesn't do stuff. No. All right. Oh my God. Okay, so for this tutorial are $5 per day. Fuck that. Who seriously thinks this is a good idea? I'm gonna have to make Kubernetes the easy way, the hard way and the hard freeway. How about that? I mean, the guy works for Google, so running commands in parallel with tmux. Hey, look at that. There's a plug for tmux. Oh my God. Why should I ever learn tmux? I can use i3. I rest my case. Seriously, people. I'm done making the case. If people can do it, they can do whatever they want. They can waste their time if they want to. I don't care. Enable synchronized panes using Control B for shift. Yeah. Yeah. Next, set synchronized panes on prompted. Disable synchronization. Synchronized panes off. Using tmux is optional but not required to complete this tutorial. Go tmux go. The tmux can be used to run commands on multiple computer instances at the same time. What a miracle. I so have to make my own tutorial. Okay, labs. I won't call it that, by the way. I'll call it a lab. Labs in the tutorial may require running the same commands across multiple compute instances. Yeah, and of course that's going to happen. In those cases, consider using tmux splitting the window into multiple panes with synchronized panes enabled to speed up the provisioning process. Yeah. Why would you not synchronize the panes? I mean, I don't understand that. Why would you not do that? What's the difference between synchronized? Am I missing something? What is tmux synchronized panes? Maybe I can learn something here that I don't know. Already, let me see more random things. That's right. It's your evening time, isn't it, QHacker? How to send a command to all panes in tmux? No, I would never do that. Why would you do that? Send keys to synchronized panes for tmux page, but I'm not sure. If there's a simple way to do this, why would you ever do that? This is somebody who has no fucking idea how to use tmux. I would never do that. Why? Seriously. Okay, I'm reading this because I may be missing something. Who needs Ansible when you have synchronized panes? That's so dangerous. I can't even deal with how dangerous that is. I like to call it clear history on panes with a huge scroll back. However, I want the script to send this command to all the panes in all the windows. How do I send a command to all the windows courtesy of this question? But how do I send a command to all the panes of which window? Send keys and synchronize panes from tmux. That's so stupid. I don't have words. Thinking about this a little bit, tmux list panes seems to list all the panes in current session. Pretty useful. It just wants to, that's so stupid. Got a question. How finding a solution to the price pane each session. Blah 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 blah. Have you tried Control B, the Emacs command? Oh my God. Pain. A synchronized pain. Pain. This just makes me happy that I'm not dumb. That's a joke. It's a joke. That was a joke. It was a joke. Don't get mad at me. Don't start flaming me and calling me an asshole. That was a joke. Enable synchronized panes by Control B and by shift blah blah blah. Next sets blah 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 to disable. No, just no. Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm doing this tutorial because this is gonna light a fire under my ass to do my own tutorial. It is, because you know me. Don't get mad, get busy, right? And if it doesn't cover stuff, or if it forces you to pay $5 a day, seriously, to do this tutorial the way it's written, you have to pay $5 a day. A day. Oh geez, I realized there was another dad joke. Pander and Panda this morning. Oh my God. Why would someone want to synchronize panes? Doesn't that defeat the whole point of this? Yes, absolutely. Omega hack. I totally get it. I agree. Yes. Look, okay. All right. Let's be kind. This person, spent part of their life writing this. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, but so far, there's two checks against it. Number one, I'm going to write this in my log, by the way. I'm going to put this, I'm going to say, stuff I'd do differently than Kubernetes the highway. I'm gonna make a little write up here. So one thing I would do is I not pay $5 a day per day for GCP. Use kind instead. And I would not use tmux synchronized panes. Who actually does that? Honestly, I don't. Okay, Kelsey's gonna be mad at me because I'm critiquing his thing. He's like, I wrote that years ago. I'm like, okay, fine. Is the new shell users as hacker type is to the average person? Hacker typer, yeah. I just can't understand that. I kind of feel like if somebody got excited about tmux and made a contribution and it didn't get checked. I don't have any evidence of that, but that's what it feels like. All right, so C matrix. No, man, it's all about T matrix. Get with the program. T matrix is way cooler. That somebody told me that, and I was like, okay, fine, let's go figure this out. All right, so back to work. This is fun. It's Friday. It's like any other study session as usual. We get distracted and pile up plates at the all-you-can-eat buffet. And then we're so full we can't concentrate because we're too tired. Installing the client tools. In this lab, you'll install the command line utilities required to complete the tutorial. I'm not fucking installing Cloudflare. No. Why would you install Cloud? Oh my God. Not depend on Cloud. Why the fuck would you do that? Maybe I'm missing something. Benefit of the doubt here. How do you spell Cloudflare? I don't know. Is it one word? Oh my God. Yeah, if you're doing this tutorial on OS X, you have a problem. I'm sorry. 3 VMs for the same app. I believe synchronized pages to be able to run the same command on multiple systems at the same time. Basically, instead of running a script, you do the same thing on each. What are you talking about? Like at the same time to kick it off? Oh, okay. For the Cloudflare stuff, I don't even know how to spell Cloudflare. That's my number one concern right now. How do you spell Cloudflare? Is it one word or two? Who knows today, right? I'm going to go with one. Open Vim in 2 panes with different files that enter random characters and synchronize panes and watch them diverge. One word Cloudflare. And it's not even lowercase? All right, fine. Yeah, I got no love so far. So I've already installed kubectl. I don't need to mess with that. That's easy. All right. So this is the hard way, really? Okay. Linux, wget. Okay. I cannot not ever use. You should not be using wget, people. Use curl. Use curl instead. Always. Curl is so superior on so many levels. Plus it uses libcurl. The only time you would use wget is you want to pull down a whole website and you want it to traverse all the links, which is good at. So links is also really good at that. That's one of the reasons it's considered a hacker tool, because it's a great way. Links is a great way to create a static copy of a site at a moment in time. Same with wget. Otherwise, use curl. Seriously, don't use wget. Just to download files with wget is something a Mac user would do. It's a joke. Calm down. It's a joke. Okay, so maybe do the config on each node simultaneously. Yeah, you can bash Mac. Yeah, I kind of can. Give me the wget progress bar. Oh, you haven't seen the curl progress bar, right? All right, fine. Sudo move. Oh, I'm so not into this. Verification. Verify CFSSL, blah, 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 is higher installed. I don't think I need this. Go 1.12? You fucking kidding me? Is that how old this is? Shit. This is an old thing. Just like everything, this is why Zettelkasten is the way to go. You got to manage your educational content as if software because it's going to have new releases like regularly. Dude, 1.12, when would that come out? That came out in, I want to say 2020. I mean, this is the version for this app, not for the whole thing. But that's 1.12. That came out, it had to come out in like 2014, 2015. It's like really fucking old. And it's not OS X, right? It's Mac OS. Yep. Right. I have config on a Mac and be amazed. Okay. Yeah, the progress bar. All right, fine. You guys can have your progress bar if you want. Install kubectl command line till. I actually am -sing it all the time because I don't want to fucking see the output. I just want my file. Depends how big the file is, I guess. The kubectl command line I already have installed. I have an install script for this. Yeah, this is so out of date. That is like really out of date. People following this tutorial are like really confused at this point because this stuff's just not going to work and nobody's fixing it. A sudo mv cube control user look a bit. Is there food? Yes. Crap. Damn it. I got to go eat food for like 5 or 10 minutes. Guys, if you get to the fun stuff, let me know, okay? I know I'm going to go away and eat. I'll be right back. We're reading this and not writing it. Yes, I know. I am reading this. I have 5 minutes. I'm going to eat fast. All right, I'm back. Oh my god, that's so good. That was good soup and good. I got it this like decaf. I got some good decaf this time. Let's see. I had to eat fast anyway. Did I make it in 5 minutes? I don't know. I'm super excited actually. kubectl version client. We're caught up. Don't need to do any of this. Okay. Wait, what are we doing? All right, so I'm making my notes. Now what are we on? Which one are we on? We're on 2, now we're on 3. Provisioning computer resources. Kubernetes requires a set of machines to host Kubernetes control plane, and the worker knows where Kubernetes containers ultimately run. In this lab, you will provision the computer resources required for running a secure and highly available Kubernetes cluster across a single zone. This is kind of old school. A single compute zone. Highly available Kubernetes cluster across a single compute zone. Ensure default compute zone or region have been set up described in the prerequisites. Don't need that. Networking. The Kubernetes networking model assumes a flat network in which containers and nodes are communicate with each other. That's what we have in kind as well in Docker. In cases where this is not desired, network policies, service policies can limit on how groups contain blah, blah, blah. Setting up network policies is out of scope of this tutorial. Well, okay, fine. Again, we're not going to be setting up network stuff. That stuff that I'm going to be doing on hardware, I'm going to set my own network, but we're just going to use the Docker network. Virtual private cloud network. In this section, virtual private cloud, VPC network will be set up to host Kubernetes cluster. We already have that. I don't need to do it. This is, again, I'm doing a Docker. VPC network, G-Cloud, no, fuck that. A subnet must be provisioned with an IP address range large enough to assign a private IP address. We already have private IP addresses because Docker. So Docker already creates its own IP address, so we're good. Create the cluster subnet, the Kubernetes subnet in the Kubernetes Hardware VPC network. G-Cloud, no, I'm not fucking doing G-Cloud. Firewall rules. Create a firewall rule that allows internal communication across all protocols. And we don't need that. Don't need any of that. God, this is the hard way, and this is the completely unnecessary way. More like complete waste of time. This is mean. Seriously, I'm getting kind of annoyed by someone not considering the easier ways to do this. Learn how not to do it. I mean, it's, you know, whatever. The fact that this has got 25K stars, this no wonder we're all fucked up. Listen to the firewall rules of background screening, okay? This is more of a tutorial about how to use Google Cloud than it is to Kubernetes. Kubernetes ingress, output. Wait. See, I thought you weren't supposed to have any commands yet. They just fucking lied. Name direction allow policy disabled. This is an ingress. This created an ingress. No, this is no. This. Okay, fine. I gotta just move on. The Kubernetes public IP. Allocate static IP address to be attached to the external load balancer, fronting the Kubernetes API servers. We can do all of that internally with Docker when we get to it. We're not there yet. We can use a Docker network for that. We can create a new Docker network and then do the same thing. What do you think Kind does it that way? And Minikube now. So, verify the Kubernetes the hard way static IP address was created in your default configuration. I don't need that. Don't need it. Compute instances. A compute instance in this level will be provisioned using Ubuntu server. So they're calling them compute instances instead of fucking machines. They're compute instances. Why can't we call it just a fucking computer? That's what it is. It's a machine. Compute instance. Unnecessary obfuscation. Not my favorite thing. The compute instances level will be provisioned. They're elastic. Okay, fine. So are they saying that a compute instance means that you can turn it up and down and CPU and everything, and that therefore it's... But you can do that with a VM. Why don't they just call it a fucking VM? It's what it is. It's a VM. Is it not a VM? Is a compute instance meant... They're elastic. Oh, lol, yes. I mean, I would be okay better with Elastic Virtual Machine than that. I'm watching Tech with Nana to learn more components of Kubernetes. Nana looks pretty fun. I watch some of her stuff, so I'm gonna reserve judgment. And not my style, but you know, it's fine. Let's get rid of the word cloud too. Oh God, please. The compute instances in this lab, aka virtual machines, will be provisioned using Ubuntu server. That's how you know it's a machine, because they're going to put an OS on it. Just spoiler alert, a compute instance is a machine that's running Ubuntu. I'm sorry, I'm going to get through this. This is going to be hard. No, I'm going to stay with this fucking tutorial. I'm staying with it. I'm like on like 3 of 12 steps. Compute instances. Let's... Please stay with... I'm trying hard for the comedic value, if nothing else. I'm gonna hold. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Let's just say I've heard things about Kelsey Hightower from other engineers that I will not repeat here, because I'm going to make my own decisions about Mr. Kelsey Hightower. Is a big name in cloud, and I do not want to offend him. I don't know him. He's probably a wonderful person. So far, this tutorial is shit. Each compute instance will be provisioned with a fixed private IP address, blah, blah, blah. Seriously, this is more about setting up Google Cloud than anything else. Kubernetes controllers. Here we go. Hey, look, he did a for loop with Google Cloud. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, fine. So we're going to replace this step with what we would do in Docker to do this, okay? Which is not hard at all. The problem is we have to actually have the things running. So... He said no scripting. I don't know. It looks like a script to me right there. That's a for loop. Smells a lot like a script. Create 3 compute instances with the host. So if you can do that, I can do something else, okay? Create 3 compute instances with the host of Kubernetes control plane. Okay, 3 compute instances. In other words, let's make 3 computers for the control plane. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's do it with Docker, though. All right, so... Docker, let me see what I got here. What is running already? Oh shit, that's right. I'm doing my Minikube instance. Fuck. I'm gonna have to redo that. Yeah, I have to clear out my... This is using the Docker that's built into my Minikube, which isn't bad actually per se. I'm wondering, because it's actually using the Docker container for it, so I could continue to use that. Yeah, let's do that. But there's already a Kubernetes cloud on that particular network. Within that they have to set up a separate network. So what we could do instead, I need to get a clean Docker that's running on this. Okay, so let me try this. So I'm going to actually have to do a different environment. So Minikube has a way. You know what, I could just turn Minikube off. Why don't I just do that? Duh. I feel stupid for not thinking about that. You found a tutorial that's worse than my VCS compile instructions on GitHub. Docker and Docker time. Yes. So DPS, it should go back to the old. No, see, it still suck now. It can't do anything because Minicube's like, no, this is gonna be a problem all day because if you don't know what I'm doing, it's Docker has a container engine in it, and so you have to do mk docker env and source this to do it. So what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna do Docker. There's another thing. It's like remove the docker env. Yeah, podman env docker env, and I'm gonna have to do that in a separate window. Yeah, let me try that. Let me try that. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Well, let me think. Let me think. S keys. The reason I'm hesitating is because I deliberately changed the environment that's sourcing this entire tmux window, so it's always going to have that bad environment in it, and I kind of want to go back to it not having that. But yeah, 6 VMs for free. Ooh. So let's see here. Let's do. I've got to undo the other environment variables, which means I just have to load the traditional environment. Oh, I know how. Duh. I think that's going to undo the environment. Yeah, because I think. I don't know, let's try. Nope, that wasn't enough. Fuck. We just have to throw the entire environment away. Yeah, I kind of got myself in the corner here because yesterday I was doing everything in Minikube, and now I want to use the bare bones Docker install. And to do that, my environments are all messed up. I mean, if let's see. Yeah, I okay. The only thing I'm worried about is if when I close this, it's gonna try to commit it, and I'm gonna say, yes for now because I have to go edit it again. It's gonna actually do something. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. That's not hurting anything. It just renamed a file that's already carrying beamer. Okay, I can do this. I have to go back to this too. So we're in the, where are we? I have to go back to this. We're on step 3. All right. So just so you guys know, so you don't do what I did, I have a Minikube environment running, so I can't access the Docker environment on the current system. I know that's hard to think, but if you visualize, you can visualize Minikube being kind of like a contained network inside of my computer. And inside of that, there's a Docker engine inside of the nodes that are there. And those nodes, if you want to use Docker against that container engine, you have to do that. So like if I do, Docker PS, yeah, it's still doing it. See that? So if I don't want to do that, and I think I can do that with a new. Here, let me try something. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, no, I already did it here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a new one of these. There we go. Nope. Yep, I have to exit this. Yep. I mean, I did that because I was working on it. Yeah, boy, that was the first time I've done that. So I'll turn tmux live on for a second. I tried to add Libra chat and it's screwing up, so don't mind the errors. There we go. Hello. All right, so zero that one out and come back up here, zoom. All right, so now we have just Docker, right? So they will get the regular say, so there's nothing in there, right? That's what I wanted. So if you, and then yeah, so that's what I want. So let's get back to our base of operation kind of place. Which one was it? Z find Colearn. Let's see, cd z cd this, and I'm going to tmux into that. So now we got that. Okay. And we can do edit last. There we go. Make this, call this log. And I'm going to go into the github.com, Kelsey, Hightower, Kubernetes the Hard Way. Boom. Okay. Now, so we need to make a running instance. So I have a question. Let's see. Let's make this called, I don't know, work. So here's the question I have. If we are, obviously they have to be running, right? So we already have images. So the question is, we want to make it so that the images continue to stay running and we don't attach the images. Because as soon as the images go away, they're ephemeral. That's the whole point, right? So by using a running container as an image, we have to make sure to not turn them off. If we turn them off, we'll break things, right? But that's the point. We want it to be. So it's conceivable that we're going to want to put the steps of setting this stuff up into scripts and kind of write scripts as we go. And that makes sense to me because that's how I generally remember things, is I'll do the thing by hand and then I'll put it into a script, and then that'll just help me be able to do it next time easier, right? So I think that's what we're going to do here. I feel like we need a lab for this at this point, though. Yeah, we definitely do. Instead of just this log thing, we need a lab. So I'm going to make my own lab, and you guys can follow along if you want. And what should we call it? Maker lab. I made a lab for Swagger, but I haven't put anything in it yet. How's it going? So let's do lab. Kate's with cluster. I wouldn't want to say that. Lab is automatically a learning lab. What do we call it? Kubernetes cluster cluster Docker cluster. How about that? Does that sound good? What do you guys think? You have any opinions? It's the hard way. How about hard way Docker cluster? That's like too much to type. But he had that big old freaking long one. Learn lab Kubernetes Docker cluster. I mean, what should we call it? Easy way. I don't want it to be easy way because easy way implies that, you know, I kind of want to put hard way in the name because I want it to hit when matches are looking for the other one. Not easy, not hard way. Hard way. Docker free. No, Docker. Kubernetes the hard way, Docker. Yeah, I mean, this is at least an attempt. Hard way, cloud free. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to do that one, but Qts, hard way, Docker. Kuber. Okay. All right. So this follows steps as the popular Kubernetes the Hard Way. Tutorial from Kelsey Hightower. Wait, why is it doing that? That's weird. But without the cost and Google Cloud platform hassle. We just use Docker instead. Each running container as a compute instance machine. Yeah. And focuses on the core learning content, not without wasting time on GCP. I already said that. We use the built in network. We use the built-in network that Docker provides. This is similar to the approach both Kind and Minikube use, but without the magic, leaving that to you to learn. Yay, how's that for marketing? Shit. All right. There. Wait, commit, wait, add, readme. What? Oh. Commit, add initial .md, git push, wait, gh repo, create, yes, Kubernetes the hard way, but in Docker with Google Cloud. All right, so far so good. So I'm not going to write it up again. So actually, no, let's write it up. Let's write up the steps. So we don't have to have it. I guess we could put it under docs because those are all gonna. It's all gonna be turned into a web page anyway. Yeah. I don't know if we want to do like 1 step 1, step 2, step 3, something like that. I don't know about that though. I don't know. I like directories better because then you can put screenshots and stuff in there. Although, I don't know. I don't want to overthink this. We're just gonna start writing it here. So we'll start with the scripts and stuff. I won't do the other thing. So cd to docs. So it says to make. So we're on step 3. Create this to computers, right? So for 3 compute instances, boot disk. This is what we're saying. Boot disk is 200 gigabyte. Shit. What? Why would you have a boot disk size of 200 gigabytes? It's going to be hard. I wonder if we can even do it in Docker. We're going to see. Private network IP 10 to 24. But see, it does that automatically. We don't have to do that. Scopes, compute read write, storage read write, service management, service controller. I don't like that this is just doing this for you. It doesn't tell you anything about provisioning the machines. A big part of this education is learning what has to be on the machine. What's the minimum requirements? Fuck the tutorial. I'm going straight to the Kubernetes docs. Kubernetes. Yeah, I don't. Can IP forward? Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's even going to work if swap's on. Yeah. Report meeting book club over the Phoenix project. You should just not show up. Do you like the Phoenix project? That's pretty cool. DevOps will fix everything. The Phoenix project, no. God, that book is disastrously bad. It's as bad as we're gonna look back at that, and we're gonna look at it like we do with Agile now. I think at this point it needs OS networking and disk requirements. I agree. It's like, so I don't even know if there's a huge requirement at all. You know, I kind of want to hit the limitations as we go, and we'll say, well, hey, what's the problem here? You know, tags, Kubernetes the Hard Way controller. So, okay. So as I see it, I just need to make. How many does it say? We need 3, right? We need 3 controllers. Do we want it? We could even name them different things. We could say controller 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm gonna make a script for this. Fuck all y'all. I'm gonna, not you, but you know. So, build. Touch build. Schmucks build. Bin bash. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make up my bash script. Yes, sir, Bob. I'm gonna copy command, no, template bash command, and I'm gonna copy the CMD to build, and I'm gonna call it build, and I'm gonna put myself in here. And this will just be mine. This like no scripts. No, I got scripts. I don't care. Sue me. Check that buffer filter. I don't know if I need all this stuff in there, but so let me just show you. So if I do build, tab, it's got bar. I can do bar. Wait, yeah, build config. I probably don't need all that, but I wanted it for the. You know, I'll pare it back later. I want it because it has tab completion built in. That's the main reason I want it. So, foo all the things. Let's get rid of foo and bar. And this. We don't need to change any config settings. So what is our build? We don't need any of this stuff. We can throw all that stuff out. I just need the completion. So build tab, readme. It creates a readme file for you and everything. It's really cool. It's preaching into the void. Use PTO today. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds familiar. And nobody wants to do that. We were talking about Agile's failures yesterday. Yeah, because nobody wants to do it. How to deal with avoiding those kinds of meetings? Yeah, we do stand up. We do a Slack stand up. The QMacro has some suggestions on that too. And we were talking about how the Linux project has never once had a meeting. It's like the entire project. I mean, there's so many projects that have been successful have 0 meetings. It's possible. People just don't want to do it. It's like a huge topic. So yeah, I don't know. I have any suggestions on how to get him to not do it? I don't know. Okay, so what do we want to call this first one here? So we could call it. I mean, I can get rid of this help. We don't need help in here. I don't need the help project at all. Help main. No, bash template. That can go away. No, we don't have a main. Built-in utilities can go away. Initialize the left channel. This can all get ripped out. Filter, buffer, grab JSON, dependencies required, optional, justification, guidelines, legal. All right, so now I'm done. Put alternatives. We don't have alternatives. Get rid of those. Initialization. I don't need initialization either. We do have help. That's down below though. I'll leave that there. We don't need conf as much. I don't think either. But I'm gonna leave them because they get used below. So then I can do this. I can do x.build. Now we have build, and then we want to say, let's say control plane. Okay. Control plane. Wait, or do we want to do? How about? Do you think the machine? Let's see. Let's do control. Do we want master nodes? Aren't they called master nodes? I think they're called master nodes, right? Master nodes. So then what do? We just do Docker run. I mean, how are we going to do this? I don't know Docker that well. I haven't used it all the time. I mean, I know it, but I don't use it to do what I'm about to do. So we're going to start up a Docker instance that's going to be running one node per thing. So it'd be Docker run. Let's see if I can do one. So, I mean, we could even do this. We could do for I in 0 to 2. Do no, I want 1. I want 1, 2, 3. All right. Done. This is one case where I would not use 0. I just wouldn't. So we wanted to run a container here. So we could say echo would build would start a Docker container. And we probably need to establish what's going to be in that image. And so that's kind of why I want to do this. So where are we? Are we still here? Oh, shit. Lab K3OS Hard Way Docker. All right. Build master nodes. We could maybe do 3 Docker. Okay. So how are we doing? We got to do Docker run. I mean, I can do an IT and detach from it, but I'm trying to figure out what I would do without that. I forgot my Docker commands. I have been using so much Kubernetes lately. I got to go back and learn my Docker. This is good. This is good for me. Maybe also establish a Docker network or use it by default. I think we should do a Docker network, but I don't know how to do it. So, all right. Actually, let's put that in our steps, shall we? Shall we? Can't find 5. 3. What is this one? Oh, this is build. 4 is just a shell. Let's do this. Let's make this the steps. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put steps. So we're gonna put create a. What are we doing? Create a Docker network. And then what? I don't. Should we? I don't want to do the outline thing because it gets kind of hairy. So create a Docker. I mean, we can break this out later. So we want to create a Docker network. Then we want to create 3 master nodes, right? Fuck. Master nodes for control plane, right? So how do we create a Docker network? I do not know. So, all right. So let's do this. So let's say, how do I create a Docker network? Okay. Docker network create -d bridge, my bridge network. Bridge networks are isolated networks. Okay, let's read all about this document. I'm going to put this in my notes. Docker network, Docker documentation. All right, so we're gonna read that. I'm gonna put this here. Decided to start a lab. Okay, it's hard way Docker learning. Okay. So I gotta keep all this updated. So let's see, because I wanna be able to go back to it because I have bad memory. All right, create a Docker network. I don't know how, so I'm gonna figure out how. Volume management is now free on Docker Desktop 4.1. What? Positive support on Docker subscription updates. Fuck, I hate that's true, but whatever. Any startup Docker engine. Where are we not there? Best practice. Take a look. Wait, what? This is not the right one. Oh, here we go. Docker engine API. Wait, create network. Oh yeah. Okay, we got that already. The client daemon API was supposed to be at least 21. We got that. Docker version command, blah, blah. Docker network create. Extended description. Create a new network. The driver accepts bridge or overlay, which are the built-in network drivers. If you have installed a third-party or your own custom network driver, you can specify driver. I don't want to do that. If you don't have specified the driver option, the command automatically creates a bridge network for you. When you install Docker Engine, it creates a bridge network automatically. This network corresponds to the Docker 0 bridge that Engine users traditionally relies on. When you launch a new container with Docker run, it automatically connects to this network bridge. You cannot remove this default bridge network, but you can create new ones using network create. Docker network create bridge my network. Bridge networks are isolated networks on a single engine installation. If you want to create a network that spans multiple Docker hosts, each running an engine, you must create an overlay network. let me understand that. If you want to create a network that spans multiple Docker hosts, each running a different engine, then you must create an overlay. Unlike bridge networks, overlay networks require some pre-existing conditions before you can create one. These conditions are access to key level stores, console, etcd, zookeeper. Oh. This might be an opportunity for us to do our own etcd installation as well, because we kind of need that, right? A cluster of hosts with connectivity to key value stores, a properly configured engine daemon on each host in the cluster. All right, so these are different clusters. These are not Kubernetes clusters. So I'm going to go with a bridge network. I think that just gives us an encapsulated network. It's kind of a virtual private network without the virtual private network. And then we'll have to figure out how to port forward to it and stuff like that, which can be done with our container commands, I imagine. Or not, you know, I mean, if we're going to do this right, we should probably fire up an ingress anyway so that we can talk to the thing. We're not going to be able to use kubectl. Or we could make a login server that we SSH into, or we exec into as if we were SSH into it, and use that as our login server that has access to the entire network. Yeah. Yep. I kind of want to draw a picture of this. So like, if you had a host. Oh, do you like that one? Yeah, it's just a fun little thing. It uses the filter approach of Unix. That's what makes it cool. If you learn filters, people, I'm telling you. I'm going to get more coffee. It'll be like literally 60 seconds. I'm not even turning the mic off.
Were they right?
Yeah, they were right. All right, we got an hour left here, people. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a Docker network. I could probably do this without doing this and just use the whatever's on my Docker network, you know? I mean, that might be the way to do it. I feel like it's not going to be a proper test, though, you know? Because, I mean, you know, if we were doing this with hardware, what would we do? Let's think about that. So if I was doing this with hardware, I would set up a network of computers and I would put them all on a VLAN that's not on my home Wi-Fi. True or false? That's probably what I would do, right? So the minimum to do this with hardware would be to create your own network, probably with its own router, and plug. I mean, so okay, I'm going to take the absolute. I could do this if I were a 12-year-old kind of approach. I would get a whole bunch of Raspberry Pis. I'd put whatever on them. I'd plug them all into a router, and I would plug that router into my home network, master router, or my Wi-Fi or whatever. And to get to it, I would have to be connected to one of the Raspberry Pi systems, or I would have to SSH into sort of like a gatekeeper that had connections to both of them so that I could connect into it. And that would be the infrastructure. In fact, I'm going to draw this because I actually want to make this kind of activity available for other people who want to do it in a lower cost. So let's just create a blank diagram. So I don't want to get carried away with this, but so here we have, I mean, I don't know, we'll just put this here. So we would say control 1, right? And control 2, control 3, to, I know it's kind of small, but you get the point. And then what? We would have a big old cloud around that. So this would all be in a network. Okay, and then so this is all in my house, right? So over here, we'll make a kind of a standy up thing. Let's call this our. So there's actually routers and stuff. Whereas there's all kinds of shit in here, but I just don't want to spend too much time on it. There's a really good one that's got like stuff in, but I'm just gonna do basic shapes. So this over here, we would say, this is, what is this? This is the home router, right? And oh, I can't move that. Never mind. Fine. I know I'm taking a long time. I'm sorry. So let's say you're doing this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to get too caught up. Home router. Oh. All right. So, yep. Home router is a thing that, God damn it. I know people laugh, but group. All right. So you have your home router here, and then we're going to have, we could have your cluster router, right? So if I was going to do this at home, I would just buy a cheap old router. You know what I mean? And I would plug it in, and the cluster router would be here somewhere, right? And then that would have a connection to here. Let me do this, the styles on this. Oops. Style, let's do arrow styles. Oh, we could do this, boom. No, where are you? Why are you not working? Why are you not working? It's because it's joined, that's why. All right, that's fine. No, I'll just use a connector. I'll use one of these. So one of these is connect to your router because we're doing testing. Yeah, we want to do multiple master nodes because we're going to test high availability HA. So, do you know what I mean? I mean, we don't need it, but you could do the whole thing on one node. But like, for example, at our work, in fact, I'm going to actually do two. I'm going to do a whole bunch. At our, you know what? I just decided something else I want to do. They have, at our work, we have two master nodes and two different data centers on completely different networks. And it works. So that's something I want to consider testing. You know what I mean? Because that is definitely an enterprise approach to this. I mean, that would be the way to go anyway. So, and home router, and this goes out to the internet, right? I mean, or whatever. So yeah. And the tough part about this is that you got you got to get into the cluster. And so we actually have a login system inside of the cluster. And it has access to everything, and it can see the whole network, right? And I'm trying to figure out what the equivalent of this would be in Docker. And then we know we're going to have worker nodes, right? So we're going to have several workers. I don't know how many workers. We'll just have worker one, etc. 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't know how many we're going to make, but and these can all be different images. If we do this right, these can be different images. So we can do some fun stuff with this. I asked our infrastructure guy today. I said, "Do you have a schema of or like a write up of the standard base image hardware?" And he goes, "It's completely different. I'd have to look at each individual system. Every system's different. They all have different GPUs and different things on them. So it's we're most environments are just reusing old hardware, which is what I would do at home anyway. So yeah, and I don't know. I'm being anal about this. So got our clusters, but so where am I? I'm over here somewhere. Where's my person icon? There's me. So here I am, and I'm sitting on my computer, and how do I get to it? Right. So I'm on a system that's got kubectl on it, and my kubectl knows how to talk to it. So if this cluster has, there's like this router, actually, let's put this router down here. That makes more sense. Yep. Oopsie. There. I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I guess I could put me down here. But the point is that the router, it's also going to be the point of contact. Actually, we're going to be poking, the router's going to poke a hole. We're going to have to port forward port 6,000 or 5,000, I think it is, in order to get out, right? Because if you can follow me, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a redirection, but it's going to go in here, and then it's going to go to one of the control planes. We should probably put the control planes down lower. Yeah, Control Z. You know what I should probably do? I should probably just, yeah, I mean, whatever. It's kind of like my network. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like the control planes need to be down here, because we're going to be poking through. See, this is going to have like one, it's really going to be going indirectly through here, right? So the cluster, the routers, to do this, the router's going to have to dual ports, so they're going to have to plug into the router there. Docker exec to enter a container. We may not have to deal with this. I agree, but I want to be able to look at what would be done on the network routing. I think if we do exec, we'll be fine. The question is whether or not we want to have our separate anyway, right? So save as, I'm going to save this as Kubernetes hard way Docker. All right, so I think you're right though. I don't know that we need to create a network. We could probably get away with using this without a network, right? But some of this infrastructure stuff is necessary to understand how the whole thing is working. Like all of this is on its own network, right? So if we're going to actually simulate this, we probably should create a bridge network for all of this. Because if we don't have that, we'll just be able to connect right in as if we were logged into the system. And that will make kubectl and everything easier, because our desktop will become a login system essentially, right? Unless we do a port forward. See, what I'm thinking of doing is like when we create the container, whatever container has port 5000 forwarded. Oh, that's another thing. They do DNS round robin on the load balancing across these control planes. I think they all are doing the same thing. So I don't know. I think when we're going to get into this, I think what we're going to find is that any one of these controllers can be logged into is listing at port 5000, and any one of them can be connected to. And that, in fact, I'm pretty sure they talked about this yesterday, that there's going to be round robin going on in there. Just that version. Embedded in drawdown document, which is nice for Markdown. Yeah. I haven't thought of it. I need to change the defaults. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where I was going with this. Is I think that there's a port. Any one of these can go to port 5000, and then you just have cluster DNS to resolve them all, or you just you attach to the one you want. But in terms of what we need to do, right? So this helps me just to get a sense of it. All right, so save that. I feel like if we create a bridge network, it might complicate things, and for beginners, right, or just trying to get kubectl to work. Maybe that's like step 2. Maybe that's stage 2. I think we should do that. I think we should use the default Docker network by default, and then we don't have to do anything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where to go from here? Create it. Repeat, but create a Docker network. All right, we'll put that there. Create 3 master nodes for the control plane. So I think that this particular step is going to be just making Docker images, multiple Docker networks. I think that's probably the way we should go. Yeah, because that requires you. Look, I don't know how to use the Docker network command because this is actually good for me because it's like helping me to establish scope of what are basics versus essentials versus proficiency, right? When we do the badges and stuff. And I don't know how to do Docker networks. I don't think that is an essential. I think that's kind of a proficiency kind of level thing. And if we're sticking with essentials, then they should just have to know how to make run a container. And we'll come back to that. All right. So let's do that. Let's do a container. So we need 3 containers. So we need them to run. What was it? What did they say? Ubuntu. We're just gonna. I mean, we can always redo this. How do you run a Docker container and detach from it? I don't know how. Start a Docker container in detached mode. It's like this is like basic Docker skill that I don't have. Is it ITD? It is ITD? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Maluva. I forgot about the daemon option. Yeah, all right, let's do that then. Let's put that in here. So we're going to say, we're going to do Docker ITD, and we're going to call it Ubuntu. Ubuntu. We can actually set the host name too, right? The hard part is whether we're going to have it be on the host network or not. And I think we probably shouldn't. I think all we need to do is have port 5. We can exec into them. If we're going to do it like with SSH, I mean, we could, if we were going to install SSH, if we want to be really fancy, we could put SSH on them, right? Docker Compose and create a bridge network for you. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't want that. I want this to feel like I'm making a machine. You know what I mean? So I'm making Ubuntu, and is it name? Man, my Docker skills are bad. I've gotten out of it. Practice. So Docker run ITD. I can always get rid of it later. And then let's do Ubuntu name control 1. And I don't know what else. Network equals. I thought you did -host. Network equals host or something, right? If you want to do that. Is that really all it takes to put it in the network? Maybe we should make a network then. It sounds like we probably should make a network. I think that sounds like the right thing to do. What networks exist? Docker network. Oh, there's nothing. It's just the bridge and everything, right? There's the other ones from JHub. These, we don't want to use any of those. There's bridge and host. These are the only 2 we're going to use. We're going to use bridge as a default, right? So Kind made its own. JHub made its own. Oh, look, it's making its own network. Make a network. I think we should make a network. I do too. I think I should go back on what I said. I think it's just the right way to do it. Plus, it's also how Kind does it. So, and MQ. It's not that hard. I thought it was harder than that. I guess it's not that hard. Okay, create a Docker network. So Docker network create. All right, so Docker network create, and we'll call it, we need to put a type, right? Make a network, virtualize all the things. Yes. I mean, this is probably beginner skill in Docker. I agree now. So, I just don't know how. I have to go look it up again. I have it open somewhere, but I don't remember it. Driver gateway config. Oh, we're going to use the bridge. Default is bridge. That's what we want. Okay. I thought I had to put it in there. I don't. Create, and we'll call it, Kate's. Yep. Docker ls. Wait, that was dumb. Docker network ls. All right. So we have our Kate's. We have our Kate's network. Yay. And then Docker run Kate's. All right. And then your master nodes on the control plane. God, this seems like it's going to be really easy. Yeah. The machine says the part would be interchangeable with Talos API. Yes, absolutely. Maluba, I follow you what you're saying there. Yeah. And that's, yeah. So Docker, Docker, ITD, run ITD, and I'm just using Ubuntu Focal, which is the one that I've been using, but I guess we just use Ubuntu. And I mean, I could use Red Hat. You can do anything here, right? So this is actually depends on. So this is good because I can actually simulate because we have Red Hat hosts. So, I'm gonna stick with Ubuntu for now, though. So Docker run Ubuntu, and then I need to put it what network I'm on equals Kate's, and then we need to give it a name. What's the one that gives it its internal name? Is it -H? Here. I put it in here somewhere. This is my Perl script for doing workspaces. It's really cool. If I do say so myself. Workspace. This that manages my workspace containers. Docker run at rm privileged name. Oh, we had to add privilege in there because Arch couldn't work without it. Oh, you probably put privileged in there. Yeah, I forgot. Ledged. And name will be control1. Run. I'm not going to remove it. We've got the network on there. Network is a bridge. We already have that. Oh, -H. That's it. -H gives you the host name. So when you log in, you can see what you're doing. Control1. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Well, what is privilege? I mean, what is it? Yeah. Does privilege like make it so it runs as root? The container D? I bet that's it. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. You know, because I tried to use Arch and it wouldn't work. Let's not use it if we don't need it. I don't want to put it in the tutorial anyway. So let's try that. Area responsibility failed to create shim OCI runtime create failed container analytics sorry container process cause exec network equals case fix a file not found or passed on. Oh, I have to put this ID. You think the image command needs to be like? Oh, right. Executable file not found. Executable network Kate's not found. Oh, why didn't it find my Kate's? Oh, there we go. It did have to be last. Yep, that was it. All right. Like, somebody write that down. Before I forget. All right, so we're going to make that. And yeah. Okay. So now we have an image running, right? So DPS, we should have some stuff. Yes, sirree, Bob. And I can do the same thing for the other two. Make our little middle for script. I mean, whatever. Fine. Fine. I can hear what you're saying. For I in 1, 2, 3, do, done. And I'll change this to be sue me. I don't have quotes. Okay. Yep. For I in I already have 1, so 2, 3. Do all of this just to save one command. Yeah. Boom. DPS. I got 1, 2, 3. 3 Ubuntu controllers with nothing on them. All right. So, you know, I could put this in a script. Why don't I do that? 3. Wait, 0. And I'll send that to YYY. That's my little command that I have. And then I can actually wait. Put it in here. Yeah, I can put it in here with this. I can do bang bang PPP. Yeah, I gotta go. I'm getting a ping from worker. Okay. All right, so back to this. Ah, shit. I got an extra thing there. So anyway, the master nodes, we should probably do the network. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to, I want to do network. It's tiny stuff, but I kind of want the steps to just be able to go through the steps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I could do B tab network and master nodes. All right. And then what? All right, back to the hard thing. We got all the stuff on there. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff we're going to have to put on here to make it work. Computer read write, storage read write, service management, service control, subnet, Kubernetes. That's what they name their subnet, I guess, huh? Task control. Okay, we don't need any of that. Next, Kubernetes workers. Yay, let's make workers. Each worker instance requires a pod subnet allocation for the Kubernetes cluster CIDR range. The pod subnet allocation will be used to configure container networking in a later exercise. The pod CIDR instance metadata will be used to expose pod subnet allocations to compute instances at runtime. That makes no fucking sense. This is not a person who writes tutorials. He's not an educator. Okay, the Kubernetes cluster CID range is defined by controller manager's cluster CIDR. In this tutorial, the cluster CRDR range will be set to which supports 254 subnets. To create 3 compute instances which will host the Kubernetes worker nodes, blah. So let's how do these differ? These are on a different subnet entirely. So we're gonna have to make a new network, bottom line. I mean, we're gonna have to make a new network. That's what it's saying. It says put your pods on something else. Right? You see this? So that's what it's saying. It's saying put your pods on something else. This is 10.200, and put your control plane stuff on something else. This is 2 networks. I'm glad we made a network. In fact, it's not just Kubernetes. You probably rename that network to control plane, or Kate's control or something, or cube control. I mean, that's the name they use in the tags when they do it. So okay, so worker nodes and master nodes on different networks apparently, and I don't understand why that is. I don't. It makes me want to look at my own networking and see, do they have to be on separate? I think I understand the reason for it. I think this is the whole idea behind. In fact, if we do this right, we should probably put 2 master planes, and have one master plane be on a different subnet from the other master plane, pretending it's in 2 different data centers, and then have those both be on separate networks, and then have the workers be on yet another network. Because I think that's how it works. I think that's what gives you your high availability stuff. I know that's what we do at work. So, and of course they're all just APIs, so it's just all port forwarding 5,000 or whatever. It's 5,000. 5,000 is the API port, I'm pretty sure. You can whitelist traffic to master network. Yes, absolutely. Yep. I have a feeling that's what's up. So I don't know that, but I've been wanting to get into the networking of this stuff. So this is really good. This is good for me to rip this up. Minimally though, we're going to have, so where's our next steps thing? I'm going to say simulate 2 master control planes in different data centers. So that's a thing that I really want to do. I don't want to forget to do that. It's super important to do that. I mean, there's so much writing on Kubernetes. I don't know how they're going to do that though when they get this like high. Multi-cluster is becoming a thing, and it's going to be harder to do that kind of redundancy. Because you're gonna have to automate bringing up a split control plane across 2 data centers. So, but we definitely have that. What's an SLA, gold SLA requirement? So we have to have that. Yeah, and this is bringing up all my old infrastructure kind of stuff. So this would suggest you have to be. I mean, we're going to follow this as is because it says you have to be on a different. I don't even know what a CIDR is. I feel kind of dumb. What is a CIDR? Classless interdomain routing. I both don't think they're the primary needed majority, right? The CIDR is a method of allocating IP addresses and for IP routing. The Internet IETF says CIDR in order to replace previous class full. Oh, I did not know this. Wait, maybe I did know that. So that all happened before my time, but when I was doing DNS. No, after. And see, a person who requires the IP address has to purchase the IP address allocated from the service provider. In this case, I mean, this is all internal, so we don't give a shit. Is subnet mask? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would have said is subnet mask. I'm going to put that in my critique because that's what it is, right? I mean, you know, whatever. All right. Yeah, that is a subnetting. That's what it is. Okay. I don't know what that is. I should know that. And I'm not a network engineer. CIDR. It allows more control over addressing continuous blocks of IP address. This is much more useful than subnetting I talked about originally. While dealing with this type of networking, it is not always intuitive to work at the times if we understand what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Well. So it refers to subnet mask. Yeah. Slash. It's just a different way of indicating it. I think it's the /24 thing, right? Yeah. I think that that's all it is, right? Abbreviated form of a subnet mask. Oh, really? Is that all it is? Are you sure? TLR CIDR is just subnet mask in short form. I didn't realize that was what it was. And now I know. I mean, I've used it all the time, and I did not know how to name. So now you guys all know. Well, I'll make sure that gets in the networking stuff. Oops. Fuck. Put that in my notes. I guess they're just being precise in their language then, so I won't fault them for that. Yeah. I'm not going to fault them for that. Yeah, which is kind of in between, right? I think that's the reason is it's not a, but those are different numbers. Yeah. It's just how many bits off the end you go back, right? Yeah. I remember that. I didn't know that was the name of it though. Okay. Well, I got it now. Alrighty. Fuck. I don't want to lose this stuff. I'm a little bit worried. I gotta leave in half an hour. Like right on the dot because we have a change window. We gotta do some stuff, basic stuff. We're taking some nodes down so they can get powered off and everything. Oopsie. Set edit second from the last. All right. Yeah, here you can go away. And okay, so we need a new network. At the end of the day, that's what we need. We need a new network. So as control planes, how about we could do this network? Create 2 Docker networks. One for the control plane master nodes and one for the workers. Okay, so we need another network. Say kids, workers, control. So I'm gonna try that. How's it going, Cypheric? A, B, C, and D are experimental. Yes. Docker network created. Kubernetes control and workers. Oopsie, wrong thing. All right, we got 2 networks. Delete network. Delete, remove. Kate's by itself. All right. D network ls. So I thought I just got rid of it. Error response from table remove network case ID blah 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 has active endpoints. Can you force it? Yeah, I got to remove all my endpoints. This is why I'm doing a script on this. Yeah, this is why. This is why I'm doing the script. Because now I can go down here. I can say this. I can say x dot. Actually, x dot master nodes remove. And I can do this again. Because I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm going to be bringing it up and down. And it says no scripting. You know what? If I'm writing the script, I'm fine. So, docker remove. I mean, I guess I have to tell it what network it is, right? No, I can just, because it's the name is enough, I'm pretty sure. Docker remove control. Shit. All right. B. You cannot remove a running container. Stop the container before retrieving. Okay. I could do -F, right? Or I could just do a stop if I was going to be nice. Yeah, I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Boom. All right, so let's do networks. So build network. Wait, now I need to do remove. D network RM Kate's. All right, and then D network ls. Yeah. Oh, D not K. All right, and then we do D. Oh, we gotta change our code because we're joining a different network now. Kate's control. Gotta have it be pretty. Pretty is important. All right. Control. Kubernetes control. And build master nodes. Nice. The artifacts I just gave me. Yeah. I like really, people like using like all 200 characters of their line, but not me. Wait, DPS. Booyah, we got our controllers running. At least systems for our controllers. We don't have anything on there, but you know. Okay, now what? Go back to the hard way. Oh, we need to make we made a network. We need to make a different actually no, it just needs to be a different network. This whole thing about how many things are supported on the network, I think is irrelevant. Right? I understand why they're doing it, but I don't think we need to worry about that. Can you specify scope when you create a new network? You know what I'm saying? So if I do Docker network create, like, can you say I want this many pieces in it? From routing mesh. Fuck. Restricted IP range. There it is. Allocate container IP from a sub range. Before doing 2000, no, we wouldn't do it anyway. But I think you could probably add something. There it is. There it is. Subnet and CIDR format. Now I know what CIDR is. Represents network. I can't believe I didn't know that. Okay, so that's it. So subnet is good to go. We could actually do our own subnet. I'm kind of tempted to do that, but I don't want to confuse things. I want to keep it simple. And we're just going to stick with the basic network. And we're not going to be restricted by limits because we're not going to have that many nodes on it. You know what I mean? Tastic using AWS console. You knew how to use it after that. Like, oh, that's the thing at the end, the slash number. I've done so many things that honestly I could not tell you the language of it. That's just because I've learned practically. Okay, next we got our networks done. Now we need to make workers. Create 3 compute instances, same exact way. Machine type EC2 standard. Fuck that. Oh, we have telnet network. We got that. Okay, scopes, Kubernetes logging, monitoring. Nope, that's not hard. You know, I probably could have intuited most of this. Honestly, the more, I didn't have enough faith in myself. We're just making a bunch of machines and putting them together, Yeah, Kubernetes from scratch. How's it going, Funk Main? So, yippers. Create 3 master nodes for the control plane. How many workers? We want 4 workers. How many workers? Should we use 4 workers? We should use. Let's see. Create some worker nodes. Some worker machines. Create some workers. They're not machines though. Create some masters for control plane. Create some workers. Kubernetes dash control. Do. You get an IP, you get an IP, and that's it. Yeah. And it's 16 million IPs available, even though you can. Yeah. Scope sub option comes into play. Yes. Yeah. That would suck. Create some workers. All right. Same exact command here. I mean, I don't know. Let's make some workers. Worker. It's the same code. And it's like, don't script it. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to script it. You know why? Because I'll remember. All right. It's the same thing anyway. Workers. Worker 1, worker 2, worker 3. Yeah, I guess I might as well do one of these. I could probably just do a clean and be done with it. Whatever. All right, so I'm going to run that. Okay, what would I do? Docker run network workers, worker. Okay. Be workers, build the workers. I have 3 workers now, DPS. So I got workers and I got controllers. So master nodes and worker nodes. All right, back to the hard way. List of compute instances in your default compute zone. Already did it. Don't need it. Wait, are they on different networks? How can I list everything that's on a different network? I probably should do that. Wait, I didn't change the network it was on. Or did I? I didn't. How do you list all the stuff that's on a network? Remove all unused networks, prune, remove all networks, disconnect, create network. This one of my networks. Inspect network, inspect Kate's workers. It can tell me who's on it. Nope, it just gives me the subnet mask. Wait, I want to see the difference. So 172.21 and control 172.20. Okay. Yep. So, but it doesn't tell me which ones are all the hosts on a given network. How do I do that? How do I list all the hosts on a Docker network? I've never done it. So you can use subcommands as pop up ls. How do you use host network for Docker post? No. You don't go with Docker? No. It's gotta be ls or ps with a filter, I'm guessing. Docker ps. Oh, you just did it. Filter network equals Kate's. Oh my god, it has autocomplete. What? Oh, that's going in my thing. Filtering all containers on given network. These are all my little notes. I know they're verbose, but whatever. I don't want to forget. All right, that's super cool. How much time I got? 15 minutes. Okay, I can't be late. We gotta change ticket. I gotta do. Configure SSH access. I don't want SSH access. We're not using SSH access. All right, so I got to put that in the thing. Okay, next steps. Okay, create some workers. Note that we will be using Docker exec IT instead of SSH to access these systems. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we need a warning or something, but I want to make a note since you're following along, right? The SSH controller one compute instances. No, I don't need that. Well, okay, let's test SSH. Let's say, instead of SSH access these systems, access. Wait, did we call it controller? Why did they call it controller? It's not a controller. We call those. What did we call ours? Control. Yeah. Access. What are you saying that? Access. Some master controller. They're not called controllers. They're not. They're master nodes. Create some master nodes for control plane. It's the words are important because that's how they're going to use it on the test. Okay, so use access master and workers with let's see. Okay. I mean, we're following the steps. So yeah, so D how do I even do that? It's exec IT, right? But I think if I exit, it's going to close it down, and I want to rerun it. I'll have to do the detach. I think it's, what is it, control PQ? Can't remember. I always had to look it up. Docker exec. No, it's attach. No, we can do either one actually because it's running as a daemon. So we should be able to do that, right? So exec IT control 1, and that should run bash. What? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there we are. Now, if I exit, it should still stay around. So S control 1, right? Control 1's still there. Okay. Exec it bash. And that's, well, I am so convinced that Docker's got to be the first thing we do in the beta release. I'm so glad we did that in 2021. We moved to it. It's so critical to everything, to testing everything. I know this is going to work. I don't have to do that. I know what it is. They're all the same. All right. So it's 247. Okay. First time connecting to a computer instance using SSH keys will be generated. Yeah, let's have a little lesson on how to do SSH right now. What a great idea. If you don't know how to use SSH, you shouldn't be doing this. This is the problem with these tutorials, is they have no scope. It doesn't have a target audience. It doesn't say, there's no baseline. This is a problem. This is why the boost is so important, and foundations like that are so important to learn. If you don't know how to set up SSH, you have no business being here. Seriously, if you haven't used GitHub and SSH, forget doing Kelsey Hightower's tutorial. At this point, the generated SSH keys will be updated and stored in your project. No shit. Seriously, you spent time. Okay, I've got to say something. How to use. Should be assumed. That's like ridiculous. I can't believe I wasted reading on that. After SSH keys, exec prompt. I guess people don't know it. That's the only reason they would put it on here. Let's like go straight from SSH into generating CAs, which I don't do every day, so I'm gonna have to look that up again. What time is it? God damn it! I only got 10 minutes left. So far, this is everything that I would have intuited. I wouldn't have had to have read any of this to do this. I thought maybe there's something fancy about doing this. There's actually not. There's like some special thing in your provisioning. Nope. Okay, no, I take that back. The networking. The fact that the pods are running on a worker pods, or they're not pods, by the way. They use the wrong terms all throughout. They're worker nodes. The fact that they're worker nodes are on a separate subnet, that is not something. That's the one thing I've got out of this tutorial so far. In this lab, you'll be provision a PKI infrastructure using Cloudflare's PKI. Oh fuck! Do we have to use Cloudflare's PKI? Can't we just use regular good old CertCA stuff? Use the bootstrap a certificate that generates TLS certificates for the following components: SCD, blah 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 blah. Oh my god! This has got to be bullshit. I know there's a better way to do certificates than Cloudflare's PKI. I know there is. It's like built in to go. This is ridiculous. I can run into bumps in the 7th or 8th step. Where? Bootstrapping. Yeah, etcd. This is the stuff I want to do. The bootstrapping, etcd and stuff. That's what I want to get to. And the keys. But I do not trust this tutorial. I do not think this is the only way to make keys. Because we do not do this at work. We do not use Cloudflare's PKI. There's a better way to do this. So, fuck. You know what? I might come back and do this tonight. I'm going to put more cloud native learning tonight, 9 to 12, because I don't want to lose this. I'm changing the schedule right now. So instead of 9 to 12 doing Go programming tonight, I'm going to delete this for tonight only. Actually, I'm going to delete tomorrow morning's cloud Go coding as well. And I'm going to put Kubernetes Colearning for the whole fucking day, tomorrow and today, because I want to finish this. The reason for synchronized panes is because when you get to those steps, you have to run the commands on all of the servers, and so disable TLS requirements. No, Aussie is just trying to make you do it by hand so that you can see all of the Kubernetes abstractions. Yeah, when you get to the end, I'll tell you this. Yeah, he told us at the beginning too. I just don't like any of his base selections. I don't like all this shit with Google Cloud. I just don't. You know, I applaud the fact that he did it. I really do. But I'm just kind of annoyed. Sorry, I gotta go. I feel like I've wasted time here. I feel like there was I wasted a lot of time here that I could have saved if I had. I will never recommend this tutorial to anybody, ever. So, and I'm gonna make a better recommendation. Bottom line, and it's not an uninvented here kind of situation. This is lame. It wastes time. So recurring event, creating the certs. If they had just said go to Docker and make 3 control plane nodes and make 3 using Ubuntu, and then they had said, okay, now let's get into the hard part. Let's make the certificates. Let's set up etcd Kube API. Instead, I wasted 3 hours going through this. Not entirely, but you know. Anyway, so it's learning, but it's just there's just so much shit out there. There's just nothing that actually gets to the point. Okay, fine. So I got Kubernetes back on the agenda tonight. I'm going to be doing it tonight from 9 to 12. I put in some Kubernetes Colearning. Oopsie daisy. I probably need to remove that one. Let me see here. I'm trying to do this before I have to go because I got to go. I'm kind of pissed because I have to trash this and following. Yes. Go back. All right. So check your schedules if you want. Yeah. And we'll be doing more Colearning all this week. But I really have to go. Yeah, I'm just updating the schedules, the events. So we can come back to this. We'll start with certificates when we come back. You have to do the synchronization within a certain amount of time. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And if I actually learn a thing or two. Well, I tried. I really sincerely did. And I'm, yeah, the synchronized stuff. We'll look at the synchronized stuff and see. Yeah. 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 We're gonna do that. There might be a reason to synchronize all the commands, but I have a feeling it can be done from a script much easier. So that's what I'm gonna do. Gotta go. All right. Bye.